There is a reason you didn't skip this, not because you had time, not because you were bored, but because something inside you paused. And that pause matters, because most people never pause. They scroll, they distract themselves, they move on. But you didn't. You stopped here, for a reason. And whether you understand it yet or not, this moment is not random. It is precise. It is timed. It is the exact moment you were meant to hear this, because something inside you was getting tired. Tired of repeating the same patterns. Tired of feeling stuck. Tired of trying and not seeing real change. And maybe you didn't say it out loud, but deep inside, you were starting to feel it. What if nothing ever changes? What if this is just my life? And that thought, that quiet, heavy thought, is the most dangerous place a person can reach, because once you start believing that, you stop trying in the way that actually matters. You stop expecting. You stop deciding. You start accepting things you were never meant to accept. But listen carefully, because this is where everything shifts. You are not here to accept a life that feels incomplete. You are not here to repeat cycles you didn't choose. You are not here to stay stuck in a version of yourself that no longer fits. You are here to change something. And the fact that you are hearing this right now means that change has already begun. Not outside, not yet, but inside. Because every transformation starts with awareness, and awareness always feels like this, like something is off, like something needs to change, like you can't keep living the same way anymore. And most people ignore that feeling. They push it down, they distract themselves from it, but you didn't. You stayed. And that means something. That means you are ready, even if you don't fully believe it yet. Now let me show you something deeper. Your life right now is not controlled by what happens to you. It is controlled by what you continue to agree with, the thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you accept, the identity you carry every single day. I always struggle. I'm not lucky. Things don't work out for me. These are not just thoughts. They are instructions, and your life follows them perfectly, not because it's against you, but because it's responding to you. And here is the part that changes everything. The moment you change the instruction, life has to change the response, not eventually, but inevitably, because reality cannot ignore a new command. It can only reflect it, but most people never give a new command. They keep repeating the old one, without even realizing it. And that is why nothing changes, not because they are unlucky, not because they are cursed, but because they are unconscious, repeating the same internal language, again and again, and expecting a different life. But you are not unconscious anymore. You are aware now. And awareness is power, because once you see the pattern, you are no longer trapped inside it. You are standing outside of it. And from that place, you can change it. Now listen carefully, because this is where your shift begins. You don't break a pattern by fighting it. You break it by replacing it with something stronger, something clearer, something your mind cannot ignore. A sentence, a decision, a declaration. So I'm going to give you one. And this is not just a phrase. This is not motivation. This is a new instruction. A new direction, a new command. Say this slowly. Feel it. I am no longer available for the life I used to live. I choose differently now. Again. I am no longer available for the life I used to live. I choose differently now. Do you feel that? That slight resistance? That voice inside saying, "But can you really change?" That is the old identity, trying to hold on. Let it speak. But don't agree with it, because from this moment forward, you are no longer reinforcing the old version of yourself. You are creating a new one, and identity is everything, because your life will always match who you believe you are. So if you believe you are someone who struggles, you will find struggle. If you believe you are someone who is overlooked, you will experience that. But if you decide, I am someone who creates change, everything begins to shift, not instantly, but powerfully, because identity becomes your filter, and your filter shapes your reality. Now here is something most people don't understand. Change does not begin outside. It begins inside, quietly, subtly, almost invisibly. Before anything in your life changes, your thinking changes, your reactions change, your awareness expands. And then, reality follows. But most people quit before that happens. They don't see immediate results, so they assume nothing is working. But something is always working, even when you can't see it yet, because the moment you repeat your new truth, you are planting something, and that something will grow if you don't interrupt it. Now let me tell you something important. There will be moments where nothing seems different, where your life looks exactly the same, where your circumstances haven't changed yet. And this is where most people give up. They think, see, nothing is happening. But what they don't realize is that this is the most important stage, because this is where you prove your decision. This is where you choose whether you go back or move forward. And this time, you are not going back, because now you know, now you understand, now you are aware. So when the old thoughts come, you don't panic, you don't believe them, you replace them. I am no longer available for the life I used to live. I choose differently now. Again, calmly, confidently, without force. And something begins to happen. The thoughts lose their power. The patterns lose their grip. The cycle begins to weaken, because cycles survive on repetition, and you have changed the repetition. Now something else will begin to shift. The way you see yourself. You will start noticing things. The way you used to react. The way you used to think. The way you used to doubt. And instead of being controlled by it, you will observe it. And that changes everything. Because the moment you can observe something, you are no longer trapped inside it. You are separate from it. And what you are separate from, you can change. So now, you are no longer your past patterns. You are no longer your old identity. You are becoming something new, step by step, thought by thought, decision by decision. And that process is powerful. Now let me ask you something. If you were already living the life you want, how would you think? How would you speak? How would you carry yourself? Take a moment. Feel that question. Because the answer is your new identity, and from this moment forward, you begin to step into it. Not perfectly, but intentionally, because intention creates direction, and direction creates change. Now listen closely, because this part matters. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need validation. You don't need approval. This is your life, your experience, your reality, and you get to decide how it unfolds. Not someday, not later, now. And if something inside you is starting to feel different, even slightly, then don't ignore it. Stay with it, because this is how transformation begins, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, internally, until one day, it becomes undeniable. Now there is something else you need to understand. Transformation is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming aware, aware of your thoughts, aware of your patterns, aware of your choices. And once you are aware, you can change everything. So don't rush, don't doubt, don't overthink. Just stay consistent, stay present, stay aligned, and keep repeating your truth. Because every time you do, you are reinforcing your new identity. Now, if you've stayed this long, it means something. It means you are ready. Ready to shift, ready to change, ready to become someone new. And there are very few people who reach this point. So don't waste it. Use it. Step into it. And if this message is reaching you at this exact moment, then there are more waiting for you. More insights, more clarity, more guidance. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning. So stay on this path. Keep going. Keep expanding. Because the version of you that you are becoming is built through moments like this. Moments of awareness. Moments of decision. Moments where everything changes. Quietly, but permanently. Now take a breath. Slow down. And come back to this moment. This awareness. This decision. Because everything begins here. Not in the past. Not in the future. Here. Now. And from this moment forward, you are no longer the person who was waiting. You are the person who decided. And that decision will change everything. So one last time, say it slowly, with certainty, with calm confidence. I am no longer available for the life I used to live. I choose differently now. Hold that, feel that, become that, and watch as your life begins to reflect it. Because it will, not by chance, not by luck, but by the simple truth that you finally chose differently. And so it is.